Hi everyone, Gemma here. Thank you for watching today. So I've got this hexagon shaped gift box. I think is really sweet. I love the pattern papers and the bright pink card there. This is one of my favourite colours. I'm sure you all know that because I'm a lover of pink. I'm a Barbie girl at heart. So this was inspired by Sam at Pootle's Papercraft. So I'll link the original video in the description box below, but I've changed the sizing, so we've got a larger gift box here, and I've deconstructed it so we can get it all out of sort of A4 or letter size cardstock. So you don't need any specialty dies to create this project, so let's get started. To make the gift box you need 2 pieces of 8 by 9. Along the 8-inch side, score at 2.5, 5 and 7.5. Then make a notch at 1 1/4, 3 3/4 and 6 1/4. Then rotate your cardstock so you have the 1/2-inch tab at the top and score at 2.5 and 6.5. So I'm just going to pop my scoreboard to one side for a moment. I'll bring that back in shortly. I'm going to take a ruler and a stylist, and with the notch that we made at the top of the cardstock, I'm going to line it up to this first sort of corner. So you've got the 1/2-inch tab here on the right hand side, and it's from this notch down to that corner piece there. So if I just bring that back up, so you want to do it to this corner, this corner, this corner and the edge there. So line it up with the notch and that corner, just score along there. And then use the notch and again the corner and score down to the bottom. So I'm just doing this all the way across the top here, so we should end up with 3 triangles. And the reason I'm bringing my scoreboard back in is I find that my surface isn't soft enough to help create those score lines. The impression is not very deep. So I like to go back over this then in my scoreboard, and I'll just show you how I do that. So you don't have to do this again with your scoreboard. If you've got a soft enough surface and a deep impression in your cardstock and you're happy with that, then that's fine. But I find that I'll have some cracking now because this impression you can't see from the back, whereas you can see the others. So it's entirely up to you. So using the line that I've already created, I'm going to pop my stylus in the 6-inch score line, and with my ruler alongside that score line, I'm just going to line it up with the 6-inch track and then just go back over that score line so I've got a deeper impression. So if I turn that over now, you can see that score line. So I'll just show you one more time. Line up your ruler with the score line that we've already made on the cardstock. Sort of hold that in place. Run your stylus down the 6-inch marker and then use the ruler on the top of the scoreboard to line that up, and again just go through that. So I'm just going to work my way along now and do the other triangles, and I'll come back to you. So I've reinforced those score lines as I said, and now I'm going to fold and burnish. So let's start off with some mountain folds. You want to take the longer edge and just fold and burnish along there, and then again on the shorter edge And next we'll have a look at those triangles. Okay. So we want these to be mountain folds, and then this inner score line becomes a valley fold. So if you fold those over first, and then you can pinch those together. So again, fold this edge over first, this edge over next, and then it'll be easy to create that valley fold and just pinch those score lines together. And then same for the outer edge. So there's all the folding. Now we're just going to do a small amount of trimming. So we've got the 1/2 inch tab here on the right hand side, and we're going to work along the bottom left to right. So you just want to cut in the center of that score line up to the first score line, and then just do that for the remaining score lines on this bottom edge. Like so, and then just rotate and remove the bottom rectangle. Okay, and then we're just going to take a little wedge off the top edge here and this edge there. So this will be our tab to attach together. So you should be left with a piece like this. I'm just going to bring in my additional panel that I've prepared off camera, and we're going to start to attach these together. As you can see, I've already gone ahead and I've attached my pattern paper. So I'll give you the measurements of that now. So you want 6 pieces of 2.5 by 3 3/4. So you could attach those now while you have a flat edge if you wish, or you can attach them after we've assembled. It's entirely up to you. So let's add some quick grab glue along this tab here. And just line those score lines up together. I like to flip it over and then just go in with my bone folder just to burnish that tab down, and then you can fold the end panel over and add glue to this tab. And then fold the other side over to marry it all up. So we've got both sides now attached. You can go ahead and assemble the base if you wish, but I'm just going to bring in my hole punch here. So I'm just using a crocodile, and if we concentrate on the score line going through the center there, and then these 2 triangles opposite, so those 2 there, if we pinch that score line together, we just want to punch a hole in here. So I'm just going to go in the center of that, and again just fold that edge over. Just going to check where I've fold the next line over. Now I'm not being too precise, so this may bite me in the bum, but I'm doing it by eye. As long as it's in the center of that triangle, and on the same level, then we should be okay. And I'm just going to punch the last one. So I find that it's easier to maneuver and get in there with your hole punch while you've still got a sort of flat surface. And now we can concentrate on the base. Just adjusting my camera there so you can see a little bit better. So if you start with two opposite edges, and we're just going to add some quick grab glue to the one side here, and you want to make sure that these line up, so you've got a straight edge running along there. Then just fold the next tabs that are opposite one another over, and again check that they line up. And then tack those last two down. And then go in and just press all those down with your bone folder. So now that the base is complete, again this is an optional step. If you've got a die that you could use to cut this shape, then you can do that, but I'm just showing you how to do it by hand. So I'm going to take my box and a piece of matching cardstock. I'm just going to draw around it. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to cut this by hand. This is just to tidy the outside edge up. You could cut this again to go on the inside. If you're going to have something heavy in here like a candle, then I would suggest to cut an additional piece so you've got a really strong base. But I'm just putting some chocolates inside, so I think just on the outer, on the bottom surface will be fine. So just going to add that with some cloud glue, and then what you can do is, you've got any overhang, just go in with your scissors and just trim it away. Or the other option is to just stick this down on your cardstock and cut around it. And then just go in with your scissors and trim around the edge to make sure you've got a nice finish. So the bottom edge is now nice and neat, and I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to add some chocolates inside. So I've got some Malteser truffles. Perfect size for the box there. So when you push the sides in, you should get a shape like this. So we want to add the ribbon through these holes and pull it tight so it sort of forms this shape. So I'm going to go in from the outer edge on the first hole. I'm just going to start to thread the ribbon through the holes. You want to go in and out. You want to be doing it sort of from the inside of the box, if that makes sense, so that you can pull those holes nice and tight, so we can get that shape starting to form. So that's through all of the pieces. So I'm going to push this down and really start to pull that ribbon tight, so we can help it find its shape. So when you're sort of happy with how you want the lid, So I'm going to put it a little tighter, I think. And I've got this end tag that I've created. So this gift is for my sister Nadine, and I'll link the products that I've used in the description box. So just some scalloped circles and inverted scalloped circles, which is the nesting dies from Creative Craft Products. The flower is from Chloe's Creative Cards, and the foliage is from My Creative Life, and I think it was Watercolor Autumn, something like that. But as I said, I'll link it in the description box below. So took me a while there to get that that bow tied. Oh, I got there in the end. So there's the final project. I think it looks really sweet. You could add pattern paper on here if you wish. I just like that pop of pink against the pattern paper, and then you've got the tag there to break up that colour. I think it looks really sweet. So I'll give you the measurements. So the final height is around about 6 1/4. The width is 4 3/4. And you could probably get something in which is about 4 inches wide. So about 4 by 4 you can get in there. So if you have a candle, for example, you could fit that in. You don't have to have chocolates. It's a really good gift size and an unusual shape and design. So as I said at the start of the video, this was inspired by Sam, and her channel is Pootle's Papercraft, I think it is. I'll link the original video in the description box below, but I've changed the sizing because I wanted a larger box. But as I said, the original idea and inspiration has come from her. If you've enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button, leave a comment, or consider subscribing to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future tutorials. I share a wide range of projects, including 3D makes, cards, sometimes using dies, sometimes without. My normal schedule is Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 1 PM, and I do share the occasional additional video throughout the week. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss out on that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely crafty day, and I'll see you in the next one.